blue trees. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm in Salem, Mass today, and today I want to talk about the inspiration for the board game Clue.
When you play Clue, you have to figure out who did it. There are suspects, weapons, and scenes for a crime.
See, there's a house over here that has more paranormal activity than any other location in all of Salem. There was a murder that took place there. The photo of that house is on the first board game of Clue that came out. Parker Brothers, who made Clue, they had offices right across the street. So we're gonna head over there. I'm gonna tell you about the murder that happened there, what happened, where it happened, and how it turned into the board game Clue. So come with me today, you don't wanna miss this. Let's go check it out. Alrighty guys, check out this house in front of us. This is the very house behind those two far left windows up on the second floor that Captain Joseph White was brutally murdered on April 6th, 1830. Now it's not just infamous for that killing, it's also known today as one of the most paranormally active sites in all of Salem. Locals say strange lights flicker in the windows late at night, footsteps echo when no one's inside, and the upstairs bedroom never truly feels empty. But before the ghost stories, there was the murder, and that started it all. See, on the morning of April 7th, the captain's servant noticed something strange. The first floor window, see that far left window right there? Just below the bedroom, that was left wide open. And when he went upstairs, he found Captain White face down in his bed, his skull crushed and stabbed 13 times in the chest. Now, nothing had been stolen. Gold, silver, jewelry, it was all untouched. But whoever came through that window came only to kill. Now, the murder sent shockwaves through Salem. Captain White was 82, a wealthy merchant and a respected figure across Massachusetts. Now, this investigation soon uncovered a shocking conspiracy. The killer, Richard Crowninshield, had been hired by the captain's own grandnephew, Joseph Knapp Jr., who wanted to destroy the captain's will so that he could inherit his fortune. But the plot quickly unraveled. See, Crowninshield took his own life in jail. The Knapp brothers were eventually convicted and hanged, but this case became one of the most famous trials in all of the early 1800s. It even drew the attention of Daniel Webster, the brilliant lawyer who became the U.S. Secretary of State. Well, he came to Salem himself to prosecute this crime. Now, his fiery courtroom speech captivated the nation and became legendary in American legal history. The murder of Captain White became one of America's first great true crime stories, inspiring newspaper coverage, plays, and even some of the earliest detective fiction, including tales by Edgar Allan Poe. And here's where history ties into something I had mentioned earlier, the board game Clue. See, over a century later, Parker Brothers opened their first office right across the street from this house, right there. Well, when they designed Clue in the 1940s, this very mansion, its dark windows, its grand but unsettling symmetry, it inspired the artwork on the original game box of Clue. The mansion in Clue, where a murder takes place and everyone's a suspect, began right here in Salem. Pretty neat, right? I don't know, I think that's pretty neat. So when you look up at those two far left windows on the second floor, you're not just seeing the scene of one of Salem's most infamous murders. You're looking at the real life mystery behind Clue. Was it Colonel Mustard in the bedroom with the candlestick, or someone much, much closer to home? Either way, this is the house right here. Alrighty guys, what did you think of that? You think the board game Clue is based on that house? I think so. That was the house that was on the first box of Clue when it came out. And Parker Brothers had their offices right across the street. So that murder probably is what the game Clue is based on. Anyway, I'm so glad you guys joined me today. Hit that like and subscribe button. We will go on more adventures. Until next time, it's your friend Chris. Peace.